The Keelung Ocean Swimming Pool, also known as Keelung Haixing Yoyongci, great place for snorkeling on the north coast of Taiwan. There's quite a bit of snorkeling and diving going on in the south of Taiwan, but in the north coast, you don't have a lot of great places. Now, this place is almost a place that I don't want to share because I want to keep it private, but it's actually already not private. It's already a very crowded place. If you go on the weekend, you're going to see easily hundreds of people there. But if you're comfortable with the snorkeling, you get out far enough, you can see quite a few things. You got these blue damselfish everywhere. You got tons of jellyfish, which is another thing on the north coast. You got to be careful. If you don't like getting stung by jellyfish, you got to wear something with long sleeves, but it doesn't bother me too much. I mean, it doesn't feel good, but as you see here, once you get out, you got some decent reef. It's not quite like tropical with lots of flowing anemones and stuff, but you've got a nice reef. The water temperature is nice and not too many people. Once you get, I would say, if you're past 10 meters out into the ocean, you pretty much have the place to yourself. I once came across this lionfish. I don't know if what I was supposed to do with it. Maybe I was supposed to spear it and kill it right away. Big invasive species in Asia. Got the lovely mermaid, my old lady, swimming with me. That long-nosed fish, I'm not sure what that is. Got these, I know in the Atlantic they're called Sergeant Majors, but I'm not sure what they call them here. They're the yellow fish with black stripes. You got these, it's like a big nursery here. You got lots of little baby fish. Again, I'm not sure what these things are called in the ocean. They look like what you'd call hatchet fish in the aquarium. These long barracuda looking things. These are cool too. You can see they mess up a lot of fish. They're the hunters in this part. This little fish here, the chunk was taken out of him, and he looks like he doesn't have that much time left. Played with him a little bit before letting him go. I'm guessing within the next few minutes, a bird or another big fish came and swallowed him up. But yeah, it's just really a nice place, especially if you could get here on a weekday. Not only is it less crowded, but the fish kind of come back into the reef when there are less people around. I finally got a sea urchin out from the bottom. They're really hard to get out. They really plant themselves in between rocks. It's really hard to move a sea urchin once they're in their little holes. And yeah, you see like lots of nice color on the fish. When it's a sunny day, the water is very, very blue, nice contrast with the green of the algae and the yellow and black of the fish. And especially if you could get there on a day when it's not too wavy. It's just a nice little place in a subtropical zone of the ocean. But just a lot of life, a lot of life. I would highly recommend trying to make it there on a weekday, just because, as I mentioned, when you have a lot of people in the ocean, everything just kind of buries itself in their holes, and maybe they go out further into the water. But when there aren't so many people, there are just quite a bit of fish. You see a few rare animals as well. You saw a moray eel. Oh, here's a Christmas tree worm. We saw a moray eel, but I wasn't able to get that on camera. Got this pufferfish here. Quite a few pufferfish. This one looks a little bit different. Saw these squid all kind of hanging out together, communicating, changing color. There were 3 of them, but they were a little bit small and a little bit far away from the camera. Using the GoPro, everything is super wide, so it's hard to get a good, clear view of anything that's kind of far away. I've seen people catch octopus there before. I've never seen an octopus there, but it's always a surprise to see what you can find just right off the coast when you see this place from the road or just standing on the shore, it looks like nothing, just looks like a regular rocky coast. That's not going to be that interesting, but it is quite interesting for me, at least, if you're into the micro of snorkeling or diving. If you want to look at the coral polyps or just small anemones, we see some here. Not that many anemones, but if you're interested in that and you like to look at the microorganisms, the smaller organisms, get close and kind of hang out on the bottom and see what they're doing, that's cool there too. They also have a kind of a diving board, like a concrete diving board that juts out into the water that some of the family likes to go and jump off of. And that's also a good time. That's another big attraction for a lot of people there. It's it's a good time. It's a good time there. If you want to take a break from the beach, it's not that relaxing once you're out of the water. So on the beach, the water is not necessarily the main attraction. You could come out and you could kind of relax and take space when you're out. Whereas here on the coast, it's very packed. People have their bags and everything really close together. So you're not gonna get a lot of space outside of the water, but once you're in the water, it's really impressive for me, especially, like I said, on the north coast of the island. There's a lot of decent diving when you get further south. Kending has some pretty good shallow water snorkeling, as does Green Island. But if you're living in Taipei or you're living in a city, one of the economic centers of Taiwan, then you're not going to get this treat as much. There are other spots on the north coast that I'm not as familiar with, but there you go. Haixing Yoyongsi, I believe it's called Keelung Ocean Pool. I'll put the name up if I got that wrong.